Okay, so I don't know if my new starting time's like the midnight hour or something. I swear to God, this stuff just gets so weird. It's like I go to sleep and then within a couple hours, it's like I'm wide awake. And it's always this jolting awake. And I keep seeing it happen to Stella all day long. She'll be laying there and she'll be just totally conked out, snoring her head off, and then she's jolted awake. And I'm like, what in the hell? There's got to be something going on. And one thing too about the energy is I was thinking that there's kind of like this like a breathing. It's like this pushing and pulling right now. And so if you feel like you're just like all over the place, I think that's why. Like it feels like time is suddenly going so slow. And then all of a sudden it's like going and you don't even know what the hell you're doing. And then it's like, it's just weird. And I'm sure it's on all different levels what's happening to people. But for me, it's like fucking everything just slows down. And time goes so slow. I'll be doing something and I'll look over and it's been like 2 minutes. How? In these long fucking days and nights, and then especially so much fucking dark time. Like, motherfucking shit. That's the worst part about being up in the middle of the fucking night. Is like, it's, fuck. There's a lot of hours of darkness. Ugh. I have always been like a sun worshiper. And so the, ugh. It's like darkness. I don't know. It's, and I'm sure it has to do with hibernation and rebirth and stuff like, so we got to use it to what it's for, and it's for, like this rebirthing. I keep doing stuff, working on myself and stuff, like I'm preparing. And so it's, you use the time for what it's there for, but being up then all night, and then plus to me, so it's like go to sleep. So I'll do this and I'll stay up and I'll be doing stuff, and I'll be like, oh my God, it's like so much longer. And it always be like my eyes will start hurting. That's always when it's like, fuck, I gotta just lay down. My eyes are killing me. And so yesterday it was like around 4:30 or 5. My thing was still downloading and whatnot. And I decided to lay down, and then it's like go sleep for like an hour, maybe. And it's jolted awake. And it's like, oh, what's happening? What's happening? It's like, oh my God. And I was like, oh, do I need to do the fire? It's like, it's the weirdest thing. And then I'll go lay back down, and then I may have even fallen back asleep for like 40 minutes and Stella jolted awake. And it's just this weird thing. And I don't know if it's happening for other people, but it's got to be something with the energy or something in my house, because I swear to God, again, when I started, the camera was facing the other side of the room, and you could see it a lot better too because the fireplace is lighting it up, and it's completely clear. It kind of looked really pretty with the lighting and stuff. And if it was easier to just flip the thing around, I would show you, but I don't know where that button is. Like, you can see it, but then once it starts filming, I don't know on this part if I can. But, and then it flips over here, and like this side of the room is clear, and this side is just this other world. And I swear to God, it's like, I've said before, my house is like a port, and it's like that end down there is like, and maybe it's getting bigger. But it's like a portal is just like a looser vibrational spot. It's not as tight, so it's looser, so you can travel through it, so it's more open. And I would think it would look kind of like this. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just gonna suck in. I'll be just, and I'll be just gone. I'll be in another realm. Hopefully it's a good one. I gotta make sure I gotta put it in a good one, because I don't want to go to a worse, like where they suck you in. Because I had seen something, and I had already thought this, and I already talked about this a long while ago. Because the trend of astral traveling, and then plus when people do these plant whatever, like ayahuasca or whatever, I think they go out of their bodies too. Hold on, something's hurting my throat. So I think that they do. But anyways, I saw this thing talking about the different realms and how they are policed. And I had said that before. I said about the like Men in Black and about these astral travelers would go to this realm and then it was policed. And we're not allowed to just go out from here. Like you can't just go back home at night. You were limited. It's like, and maybe that's that whole concept of how we're on like a string, like we're attached to our, like the glove. That's what I think of it as, kind of like, because it's not you. It isn't. And the one thing that is super important too is what I mean, I feel like we've discovered the fountain of youth here, you know, because it's a whole lot of different people's information and stuff. And to me, it's like just my guides, like, sometimes it's like they take you on a journey and you have no idea. It's like, hell yeah, I like this journey. Like, this is pretty cool. And it's fun to see where they take you. I know a lot of people always feel like, you know, it's not going where I want to go, and it's not going where I want to go, but that's because they haven't gotten into the groove of living and with their guides and whatnot. They're still trying to control life and make things happen the way they want them to happen. They're not, it's just a whole different way of looking at things. And, anyways, but I feel like this glove thing is the presentation of it, how it exists, is the accumulation of these minerals and these elements and stuff that come together. And so that is why we need these minerals and what was that? Okay, so that was enzymes. Because there's certain enzymes, like if we run out of these certain enzymes, you just will die. And so I think it's the same with all these minerals and stuff. I think this is the depletion, you know, why people get sicker and sicker and sicker. And this girl yesterday in my comments on TikTok, she said something about this. She had red hair and it wasn't turning gray, but it was becoming more coppery color. It was changing, like draining the color out. And that's what I keep saying about, it's not just that the gray goes away, it is that the color fills back in. And it is in your eyebrows. I'm telling you, my pubes, everything is just getting darker. Everything. And I can't see really good, but I can tell that they're more filling in. And always when I go in here, though, this is so dramatic to me through the whole thing when I go in, you know, and comb my hair and stuff. And to me, in the mirror, this is only a few degrees lighter than this. In this, I knew the lighting would look weird in here, but it's way lighter. You know, you'll see, I don't know if it's just all of a sudden going to just like seem to disappear on here or what, because it's so much of a different color in the bathroom lighting. And it is, it's more of a, it's just more of a gold. It's like what you think of, like if you went out into the sun, it looks more like that now. And so if, and it's almost all the way gone. So, and that, I don't know, it just has really opened my mind. But, the mineral depletion, and see it, and they know that we are made up of these minerals. This, because that one lady, and I see her, and I always think I'm going to remember her name. And why I keep thinking is Beverly. Or Ruth, no, that Ruth is that Mary Ruth. They always are saying her, but I think her company got bought by a corporation. All these little companies that a lot of people thought were all like natural and whatnot, all of a sudden got bought by all these corporations, and all their ingredients changed. Native was one of the brands, and their ingredients added in a bunch of chemicals, but people started noticing the changes. Like I saw people talking about for Native. There was a bunch of other ones. I've been going off of all those name brand or corporate stuff. I just made another batch of the toothpaste. And so, and my tooth powder came. And plus, I do my teeth different. And so, I'll say about that too. Because on the toothpaste that I made, so, because I forgot to put in the baking soda, but you could add in a bunch of different ingredients. You know, you just got to figure out what it is you want to put in. But mine, I had the bentonite clay and the charcoal, spearmint, essential oil, cinnamon, cloves, and see, you could put baking soda. That's another one. And it seemed like, oh, and coconut oil. And coconut oil is important because it's good for oil pulling, which is good for your teeth. And then adding in these minerals like bentonite clay, there's other ones too. There's this other one that is in this other tooth powder. And I can't think of the word. It's like it's really long. Hydroxylite or something. And it's what our teeth are made up of, this chemical. And so it has that in it. So it replenishes the minerals. So it like rebuilds your teeth back. That's why it's so wacky, this world. It's like things were so much simpler. We could have been healthy the whole motherfucking time. But so so in mine, and then I just stir it up and it's like a paste. And then I just have it, you know, like when you go to the restaurant thing and they give you those little containers with stuff in it. I always save those little containers to put stuff like this in it. And so it's one of those, and I just got my toothpaste in it. And so then I, you know, like when you go to get your teeth cleaned, and it's always kind of strange because when they clean them, they just kind of put the little paste stuff on, and then it just zaps out. It's like, man, there's us in there scrubbing and brushing and all that stuff. They just do a little, get it on there, and then rinse it off. It's like, okay, so, I don't know, just register that information. And so, now, I take the paste stuff and then just put it all over your teeth, like just goop it on your teeth, and then, just leave it. Like, don't brush it and scrub your gums and all that stuff. Just get it all on there and then just leave it. It's not really that grimy. The powder one is a more grimy kind of feeling. Mine's more pasty. So, and I could add coconut oil to the powder. So, you know, you can do different things. It's all natural stuff. And it's like your science experiment. So and then just leave it and leave it and leave it and leave it. And then you'll start having saliva and spit in your mouth. And then you just start swishing it. And then just do it as long as you can. Like, it's best if you do it for like a half hour. But, you know, it's up to you. Anything you do, I guess, past 3 minutes is good. But their recommendation for oil pulling is like a half hour. And so, just swish it. And then just go in and, you know, rinse it all out. And so not do all that scrubbing. And then with the tooth powder thing, I just did the same thing. I just rubbed it on them because I had been seeing other people pack their gums with the powders to sleep in. And so anyways, I just put together all these different informations and I'll share what I'm doing. And I feel like these always make it discolored too. Like, I don't know. This always makes your teeth look like really weird to me. But I don't know. Maybe I can't see you. But anyways, I think that like it's getting tea stains off and stuff. The charcoal, I think, does something with the color. But the bentonite clay, it replenishes the minerals. And then that other one, I can look it up if somebody really wants to know about it. Or you can just Google it or something. And I know it starts with an H, and it's a really super long word. And I still think I want to get these tooth tablets. And I don't know, I just get so into this stuff. Like, I got all these different teas and powders and my little thing with all my face oils and essential oils. I feel like, fuck, that seems kind of extreme. But I don't know, it's all a spectrum, you know. And somebody who does more would come in and say that's nothing, and somebody who does less would come in and think it was a lot. So it's just like, you just got to be you. You can't please everybody. But I look at it to me and I think, I get in, I do, like, get into it. Like, I got two of these salts. The other salt came, and it is a bigger bag. I do like the Celtic salt because it's so big and hard and chunky. This is a little bit more finer ground, and it's called like Baja Gold sea salt. And then it is, so it's somewhere over, I don't know, supposedly collected over somewhere else. And so it has other minerals and stuff, which really, it probably, there's a whole thing about the minerals you need are provided to you in your general vicinity. Like, I'm sure it's not the best thing for us to go get minerals for somewhere else, because they probably help those people. But like, our depletions would be fed back to us here. But see, like, that's going to take like a whole thing to kind of get into, because Dr. Gundry, he had talked about, like, you should be eating fruits and vegetables that are local, for one thing, and honey is the same thing, and seasonal. Like, you should be eating what's in season to you, where you are, because that is going to be best for your body. And a lot of people, like, they try and eat fruit all year long, but they're not in a climate that has fruit all year long, so it'll affect them. And so there's different things like that. And so is that I bet you it's the same thing with the minerals and stuff. Like, we all have certain depletions, and something around us is giving it back. But like, I'm just into it. Like, I want this mineral, I want this mineral. I just want to see what they all do, because now when you have something happen so dramatically, it's like, to me, it's super dramatic. Like, I don't know what anybody else thinks, but to me, it's like your hair starts changing colors. It's like, it feels very dramatic to me. And so now I'm like all into the mineral thing. And but the different salts have a whole bunch of different minerals. And then somebody was doing this Celtic salt breakdown, and there's hardly any minerals of all these things. It's mostly just sodium or something. But, that's why each person, you have to figure out your own. You have to, like, try something. And it can be expensive. Like, that fucking little tiny thing of Celtic salt was like $25 or something. This one was a little bit bigger, but it's still $15. With it coming in tax or whatever, it's probably almost 20. So it's not cheap. All these different powders and shit. And that's one thing, every time when I start telling people about it, that's the hard thing, is the going into the cost. And it is a total change in how you think, how you look at things, especially because I would rather put the stuff into my health than go and use insurance, go to the doctor. Honey, what is it? She's been doing this for days. Crying and crying and crying. But this little weird thing that she does is lay looking down the hall and do it. Like, now. So I don't know. And then she keeps doing this thing too. And I go into the bathroom. She comes in there like she's worried somebody's going to get me. I don't know. And I think that there's a part of, like, this disturbance stuff is done too. And don't forget that they can be in these realms. Like, I swear to God, I've already seen Men in Black before. And if this is like a traveling realm or something, I don't know. But obviously there's something weird. And why doesn't it just, I don't know, it's weird. Like, maybe I should turn the camera tomorrow and try something different and see if it's still on that side. If it's on this side, then we just think, okay, well, something with the camera. But why doesn't it do it when it's facing the other direction? It's the exact same lighting. It looked really perfect. It didn't have any interference. It looked like totally clear. But you could see more because the fire was, you could see the fire reflecting over here, but you could see it going across the room. was lighting the room up. But anyways, so I'm really on this kick about this aging thing, and the whole thing, even with the Fountain of Youth. I just think about these old movies and stuff where they'd always be like the Fountain of Youth, Fountain of Youth, and it was always these mineral, like this water with these minerals and stuff. It was like our hidden message, like the minerals that we need, because that's what we are, and that we are. It's like it's like the visual to me is like seeing. Well, it's like a superhero, and they are fully formed, but then the problem that they're going through, whatever the encounter is, it is taking them apart little by little by little. And so as they move, all these parts keep coming off of them. And that is kind of like what we were doing. Like, and the disconnect, it was kind of like a bunch of sloppy drivers, you know, a bunch of kid drivers, because they weren't even really tuned into their vehicle, because then, you know, they would start to recognize, like, but see, they always told us a story, you know, oh, you're aging. Oh, you've got the sickness and stuff. They won't even fucking fess up to what really makes us sick. That's what the fucking lying motherfuckers are all about, you know. The lies are so extreme. They won't even fess up. But it's going to be exposed. There's no getting away with it. All the different things are going to keep being exposed. It's just so weird, because there is like this back and forth, you know, just like what Crystal was saying. I don't even know who the one person is. I know who Tom McDonald is. And, you know, so I don't know that whole, but there's so many of these different dramas, even on the Tucker one, where it's like, you know, is Tucker a good guy or a bad guy? Now he is making this whole thing. He's going after Trudeau. So it's like, I think he's on the good side, guys. I think Kat is too. And there's lots of people who start saying these people are psyops. They're just out there to leak the information that they want leaked out and stuff. I don't know. I think that there is, I think that there's some moral people in the world, and the moral people in the world have all somehow come together and created a force of change. And the more safe the space becomes, the more change continues to go, because more comes and more comes. And it's the whole movement of change. And, ooh, that whole thing too, this video I saw yesterday, it was like, I saw this one that said that by the 25th or 26th, over here where I'm at, there's supposed to be this ginormous fucking earthquake and tsunami or something. And then yesterday, let's see, they've already got the water problem in San Diego. Then they had an earthquake down there yesterday. There was a big ass earthquake over by China. And then there was another one, I think, in Japan. There's like a lot of activity going. And so I don't know where this prediction comes from. I mean, it could be that Baba Ra, that lady, could be an Nostradamus. I don't know who came up with that, but anyways, they were saying, I don't know, maybe it was this weekend. I don't know. It's always something. It's always something's coming. Like, and we're in one storm after another. It's just like, fuck. It is in this time of riding life, riding the waves or whatever, we're like the choppy part, like on a river rapid thing, and it does it by the numbers, like it's a 1, it's a 2, it's a 3, it's a 4, and there's a 5. People are flying out like this is a 5. We're on a 5, I think. So let me think for a second, because I had a whole bunch of things coming into my head at the same time. That's why I went ahead and started. I was trying to lay there, same fucking thing again, trying to go back to sleep. And then it's just like, it's just going and going. And it's like, am I not sleepy enough? And it's so fucking much talking. And it's like, okay, I'm just going to get up and do this. Okay. And then like yesterday when I did, and then I went back to sleep, it was like a little bit right here, a little bit right there, and real like jolting awake. And it was like, fuck this. And I just got up, and then I'll be fine. I'll just keep going. I'll be cooking and clean. Like, I'm just like, It's weird. I feel like I'm just like floating around doing these things. It's like, I don't even fucking want to do some of this shit. I'm just doing it. Like, I don't know. It just, everything seems really strange to me about a lot of things. Being outside, the colors, the weather, the feel, the energy, the smells. It was the whole fucking fogged in all the motherfucking time. The snow that never fucking melts. Fucking rain that never stops. Motherfucking cold that you can't warm up. It's like, fuck, the dark, never getting fucking light. There's this never-ending fucking darkness. This is a dark winter. This is, I think this is probably we're at the hardest part. For some, like, things are going to get harder for some people. Like, so we can't think like, oh, well, it's good for us now. No, it's going to get real hard for some people. As, they're in denial of what reality is. And reality is going to show itself. Just like everything's going to be shown. And, so much reality has to do with how you look at things. And like I said, it's like a bunch of sloppy teenage drivers or something that aren't connected to their vehicle. So it's like this, it's disconnected world. But there's this big connection that's going to occur where people have to, it's just like this connection, because it's all different kind of disconnects of how people are disconnected from themselves. And so that's why there's all these different things happening for everybody for this experience. It's weird how all these different things create a whole story. But see, that's how the universe works. It works in these stories. It works in these ages. And this starts, and then we go through all these things, and we learn and grow through all these generations and periods and stuff. But you can only learn and grow for as much as you look back and try and understand. You don't learn and grow if you have no reflection. You have to have the ability to look back and see, like just what I'm always saying, like what we're doing right now is we're looking at what works and what doesn't work. It's like the dissection of our societal norms that we existed in. And for what we would allow, we have to, just feel that. Oh, yesterday too, I had a big trigger, and it was one of those where your kid, like if you don't have kids or if you haven't gone through this, you won't know what a big trigger is. But anybody who's been through it knows, like, it's a big trigger. And when your kids tell you something that you did that affected them in a negative way, and how hard it's been for them growing up because of, something of your personality or whatnot. And so I was, usually when my kids would do that, I would become defensive. I would try and explain to them, and then they would feel unheard. They would feel like it's all about me, I'm not listening and stuff, but it was a trigger. And I would become very much like, you just don't understand. I'm not trying to hurt you. You just didn't see what I was trying to do or say. And that is also one of the things that I've said has been difficult anyways, because I've always been misunderstood. So that has always been a huge trigger. It's like, what? You don't understand. Like, I always felt like I had to explain. But really, that was me becoming defensive. And I had to have that pointed out. It wasn't just like, none of this stuff is just like, boom. This is like over time. It's like a discovery of self. But I would become super defensive. And then it would just be like this domino effect. And that is even kind of in my dysfunction. And then when I would go to somebody else to try and be understood, don't you see? Don't you see? And it is like this desperation to just be understood. But really, it becomes a point where you just have to understand yourself. You can't get everybody to understand you. It's impossible. They can't understand you. They can't feel you. They can't understand you. They can't know what you feel or why you do the things you do. Nobody will ever fully understand why you do the things you do, because they would do something different, because they have a different experience that makes them have a different way of looking at things. So that's why we have to just learn how to accept ourselves. But so when she did that, I was able to just like, even when I was triggered, you know, and I could feel it on my heart, and I wanted to have my natural reaction. Wait, wait a minute. Let me tell you. Let me explain things. And I was just like, no, just reel it in, just calm down, calm down. Self-talk. You can handle this. And, you know, I was able to just sit there and be quiet and listen to her experience. And I, even at one point, I just started cracking up. And then she felt like I was, you know, laughing at her or something. I was like, no, I was like laughing at myself because it was just so funny. It was kind of silly because there was some things I could totally like, and she had an EMDR, and it was this really fantastic one that she had overcome some things that had burdened her for, you know, her own self-identity. And I know I was an over-the-top mom. I've admitted that fully. And, you know I'm weird. I'm really weird to a lot of people. Like, I dance. I love to dance. I've said it about a zillion times. I really like to dance. And I feel the music. And anyways, she was saying something about, you know, that she had to deal with like this mom who was like this sex symbol, and that she would dance sexy and stuff. And it was like I did get treated like I was just a face or a body or something. I didn't, but I've said that before. That has been a big part of my journey, but it wasn't even in this life. Like I could see, like I've been shown how it has to do with other lives and stuff. And, you know, but it really gave me the perspective too, is, for one thing, what you look like doesn't matter it's how you feel inside. And another thing that is interesting too, is that if other people think you're pretty, they will think you think you're pretty. So they will treat you like you think you're so pretty. And so you will have like people who will treat you like you got a problem, you're snotty or something. And it's just as weird. There's a lot of weird phenomena. We don't get to learn those unless we get to have these experiences. But anyways, when she said that, I was dancing sexy all the time. I was always dancing sexy. I just started cracking up because I could totally see that. I could totally see, because when I start dancing, I feel the music. And you feel it, yeah, it can feel like seductive or sexy when you're feeling the music. I think a lot of people cut themselves off from that. A lot of people, they feel like, ooh, like that's embarrassing. They don't want to feel it. Like there's really something to that dance, like nobody's looking, you know, because you're supposed to feel it. It isn't just about going out and performing and dancing. No, you're supposed to feel it. You feel the music, and then your body moves and it rocks. So anyways, it just was funny. But that's one thing too, when you have a mom or dad or whatever that's really more carefree about something, and then you're coming up in a society that looks at things a certain way, then you have these two opposing forces that you got to deal with. And that can be really challenging for a kid, you know, like, you know, everybody wants like this perfect dad, you know, come home every day at 5 o'clock, to put his slippers on, go get his pipe, go sit on the couch with his newspaper, wait for his kids to surround him and tell him stories all night, you know. To me, it was always Gregory Peck. He was like the perfect dad. And then the mom, you know, she's Betty Crocker. She's in there in her heels with her dress and her hair up perfect, making this perfect dinner for us, you know. And everybody has like these fairy tale ideas of existence, but it's weird because it is, you know, our existence is like a fairy tale. It is a story. And that to me, right fucking there, blows these fucking super spirits, some of their shit right out of the water. Because if we all just got what we wanted, wouldn't we all have gotten a lot of things different? Like, wouldn't we all have these like Wouldn't we all be living in some kind of Twilight Zone, fucking fairy tale land when we were kids? Like, we weren't just getting what we wanted. You can't just put it in your mind, go to bed at night and be like, oh, I want the perfect life when I wake up. I want perfect mom and dad. I don't want kids to be mean to me. You know, the whole, that whole idea, you know, because we did all sit there and think of that stuff. We can't just think things into existence. It's like, because it's weird, because you can make things happen, but, you know, just like how I had said, my brother, when I was there, it was a profound moment for me, because it kind of knocked me off of my, you know, my whiny little pedestal. You know, my victim crown was knocked off. When I was there, I don't remember if it was there. Maybe it was while I was there to make the movie. I don't remember. I bet you that's probably when it was. And he had said, he was talking to me, he was like so interested in the disability and all that stuff. And, you know, how I was so lucky that I didn't have to go to work now all the time. And I had felt so rejected by society. I felt so like, oh, I was completely on the other side of that, until I saw someone sit there and say, you know, how lucky I was and how much they wish they could have that. And then he even said, I wish I could get a brain injury. And then, you know, a couple years later, there they are, cutting his brain open, taking out pieces. And now he's retired. And he's working on different movies. He's worked on several. But, you know, I mean, there was that, you know, he wanted time to be able to do what he wanted to do. So it was kind of like intentions, you know. He wanted to follow his own dreams and have time to himself. But he had to kind of click that into place for himself. And then he saved himself from sickness, too. Even though people think, oh, well, it was the medicine. No, it's you. It's each and every person. You are the one who saves yourself. And just like that, like, and what I was saying about when the kids keep going around, oh, I'm just going to kill myself. I'm going to kill myself. You know, that you are putting that it's like you're putting that thought out, but it is not, you know, like when we're little kids and we're all disappointed of how our lives are going, you know, like you have this idea of this perfect parent, perfect family, and you think everybody else has that except you. And so, you know, I don't know, I would think, you know, most kids sat there and thought about like, oh, you know, how perfect things could be, and they didn't want to just sit and think about how horrible things were. And so they think about how good things could be. And, you know, it kind of like, it's like now we get this do-over. It's like we went through all that stuff to really learn, to really see what it was that we wanted from life. You know, did we really want to chase? Could we really find happiness and money and things and trips and stuff? You know, because that's back when I was working all the time. You know, that's what I was trying to do. Find happiness in different clothes I would buy. And that's when you know, I was buying expensive clothes at the mall. So now I'm like way more thrift store all the time. I always shopped at the thrift store, always. But there for a while, when I was at my worst, my peak of dog, what is that called? The dog day afternoon? No. Dog eat dog. At my worst of the dog eat dog rat race kind of role, my part that I played in that, you know, because I was a workaholic and a shopaholic, you know, and I would go on trips and stuff, and it was always living beyond your means too. That's one thing that they got all of us trapped into doing. Oh, have it now. Why wait? We can let you pay it off later, you know, and then you're burdened. And then, you know, when everything falls out from under you and you've got this, all these, hey, pay us later kind of situation, then you don't have any money to pay them. So, you know, everything starts falling apart. And then, you know, you have to put it all back together. But it takes a lot of time. But when my brother had said that about how much he wishes that he could have that changed my way I was looking at it. Especially with somebody, you know, you respect and stuff. Then it was like, oh my gosh, I've been looking at this all wrong all this time. And then I started being much more happy, and it changed things for me. And so, but I don't think, you know, this idea that we could just sit there and think, oh, well, we want this, so we'll have this. You know, you can, it's a cell that they do on manifesting or something, in timeline jumping or something. But to me, everything is destiny. Confirmation of the destiny. So everything is destiny. You are, you're on a ride, you know? And the whole thing with the, you know, saying like, I would like a brain injury too. That would be something that you would see, or it's a part of the thing, it's a part of the plan, you know? Things can't happen that aren't a part of it. So you can't, it's not like you can really just make something happen, but you can make something happen and that be your lesson, because that was always what you were going to do. So if you do go around all the time, I'm just going to kill myself, life's so hard, it sucks, I'm going to kill myself, I'm going to kill myself. You know, there's some, that will have an effect. There will be something for you to learn. You know, I don't know what it is. It could be somebody, you know, kills themselves, and then you get this whole new perspective, and you see things completely different. And then you know, you stop saying that, you stop seeing it as like, see that thing that just went by, you stop seeing the it just changes your perspective. Everything is an increase on perspective, to be able to see things that we didn't see, to be able to understand things we didn't understand. And everything is this complexity of being able to see, like, even when you look at through a fly's eye, and I don't know, I never looked through one, but this is the image, is the all the different images in the one eye. A spider has a lot too, but it seems like a spider has like a certain amount. And it seems like a fly has a whole shit ton. Like, they're looking at every fucking thing. Like, no wonder they're all just fucking glitching. Because it's like the overstimulation of everything they're looking at all at once. It's like, God, there's a lot of fucking shit. But spiders, it seems like they like have 8 or something that they look at once. I don't know. I'm not an expert on the insects. And it's just something I would have heard. Let me think. Because there was some other stuff. So that one lady who's always talking about that we're made up of minerals. And, you know, so I think that aging is really the depletion of minerals. So the hidden truth to our existence. And we can go backwards in aging, obviously, if we've aged, but also if you haven't, I would still be doing all these minerals. I even got, I ordered selenium too. Is that some kind of one? And somebody I think it was on TikTok in the comments, they had been doing selenium and their hair started turning back. So there's other minerals. And then also I have the boron that I do. So it's the tiniest little pinch of that every day, and sell it too. So the ones that we do are boron, which we've been doing for, I think that's like a year or something now. And then I have all those tea powders. So I don't know, some of them could have some different minerals or something in them too. Especially like the burdock root. That one is like an everything. If you were going to get any tea stuff, I think that would be a good one to get. Seems like it. And I've seen one of those old farm men say, if you were going to get any, get that one. Like if you're trying, especially if you're just trying to get started and it's so expensive, because you could add, you maybe be able to just drink it. I think it might be a little bitter. I don't know. I haven't mixed with a lot of things, but it's strong, I think. And then also mullein. I think you should get mullein leaf. That could be kind of bitter, but you could also add in honey and stuff to make it taste better. And then if you have to, just think of it as being medicine and add in some things to make it taste better. You know, it's your own concoction. But the mullein, it helps you clear out all the stuff out of your lungs. And they're giving us like fucking fogged in all the motherfucking time. So you obviously are breathing in a lot of shit. So you need to be clearing your lungs out all the time. And I'm sure that they've got fucking, they probably, like when I see the image inside, it is like these little things we're breathing in are like grabbing on to each other, building. They're making their whole little fucking, so you gotta cough that shit out. They fucking take over your fucking body. And then all of a sudden they've got a tumor in there. So, yeah, I think the mullein is a good one. Dandelion root, too. That is like you know, if you're going to start with ones, that's what I would say to start with, is the burdock root or burdock root, the mullein leaf, and dandelion root. And make up some kind of tea or something with that. And then, so we are with the boron, which is borax. And then the vitamin D and the magnesium. And then just drinking out of the copper thing. But now I'm going to start on the selenium. So I don't know if there is anything else. Like I'm trying to pay attention because I don't want anybody to get frustrated because then they start trying to drink out of the copper cup and then it's not going. I would say any of this stuff you try, just add on more minerals. Don't just think, oh, this one is just, because that's like our programming. Oh, gotta have it right now. And some of this stuff is going to be slower. You know, like I thought how fast it was going at first. But then it's like, well, I mean, it totally is like refilling you back in with minerals. And so it is like a process. And so, you know, and it probably even when it's like this, it probably, you keep going and you just start feeling better and better and better. Your eyes become more shiny, your hair becomes more shiny, you become more limber, like all of these things, you just become more healthy and more healthy. So even if you start doing it, I don't think you're supposed to stop. Be like, okay, now I did it. Now I'm fixed. No, I think you're supposed to continue always taking things that have a lot of minerals and enzymes. And like that is what we need to be taking in, is stuff that makes us better. And, you know, but then they've got, you know, everybody just taking in just food, any old, and just put it in there, any old thing. And especially things that are like extreme amount of sugar or not just sugar, because it's like this empty kind of, there's no nutrition. Like these recipes, like all these boxes of cake and like all this stuff, like so much. So you eat this huge amount of calories. It's probably like a couple of days worth of energy. And then you try and eat it all at once. And so it has to store it. Like, what's it going to do with it? And it has something was coming into my head. I totally lost it. It was like this image of like, it's because you just have to store it. But then there is trying to use it, like you can't, I have no idea. I've totally lost it. But anyways, you get what I'm saying. Is it's just a whole bunch of these empty calories that will even make you sick and get your body out of whack. And then they put more of these chemicals in, and then they put more of these addictive stuff in. And that could very well be this fucking, a run on the kidneys, you know, because that is one of the things that is used in the food addiction. They put it into certain foods so that there's something that it gets us addicted. There's something that we want more of and more of and more of, so they put it in everything. That could be why they've got fucking all those going all the motherfucking time. They just gotta get lots of kidneys. This is weird. That's weird. And how it's all being exposed to, like behind that prison, the last I had heard, it was like 671. And then they're taking them out and they're all missing parts. What did I say? There's something weird about this. All these fucking parts missing all over. Just take people constantly all day long. Gotta get parts, gotta get parts. I don't know, maybe it's like there is some this reptilian master sitting up in a fucking big high chair just all day long eating kidneys in order to keep his army of military murderers off of us or something. Who knows? Who knows in this weird world? There's no telling. But everything is going to be exposed, I think. Oh, and this was something too. So the news keeps showing all this huge drama and stuff over at the border, right? And it has all the people, like the Patriot, like I see video after video. Or people are going down there, like they're ready to fight. Like they are, we're taking back our land, people. We're gonna, enough of this and all this. Like it's really bringing this part out in people. And see, that's what your soul is looking at. Your soul is looking at itself. What it is, what it brings out. What does it react? How does it behave? And so, you can sit back in observation. We got to watch everybody's soul and how everybody reacts. And right now, there's like such an extreme overreaction. It's like all these people are, like if somebody was being needy, they're 10 times needier. If somebody was being angry, they're 10 times angrier. If somebody was being sad, they're 10 times more sad. It's like this, it's just this buildup. And that's why I was like, it's like this build up, but that is leading us to this like eruption. And the eruption is what flips it. And who knows if it is going to be this fucking like something with this motherfucking earthquake. There's so much shit going on all over the place, and I'm sure it's like all the different things will affect all the places differently. But so the down at the border, somebody was saying that they went down there, or their friend went down there, or lives down there, and they went over to film to see what was really going on, because there's so much that they're showing on the news, which I don't know what they're showing. I see little clips and stuff, so they went over there, and they said all the reserve guys are just out there playing ball, just hanging out, sitting around. There's no drama at all. They said it's just totally kicked back. There's nothing going on. And, but they're making like, this, it's about to go down. And, but all of this stuff too is also about exposing the media and stuff. That was one thing that woke me up, and it's still waking people up. I see people still saying it, and it's still waking them up. Like, either the media is not talking about something, or they're talking extremely about something. Like, they're starting to recognize. And, that's what I saw. That's what woke me up on Trump. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, everything he would say, and they were just make shit up. I was like, oh my God. And then you start arguing with people, and they believe the news. And it's like, I watched. He didn't say that. Oh, you're just going to support him now? Like, I'm just telling you, that didn't happen. It's like, I don't know. They've got it, this trigger that happens where as soon as you say, like, as soon as you cross out and you say, like, that's not right or that's not right, it's like you've left the matrix. They can't hear you anymore as soon as you start calling things out for what it is. But everybody starts waking up and everybody starts seeing. But that is, so the media thing is still waking a lot of people up. So that could be a part of whatever's going on. All I know on the Joe front is that he obviously is going to go down. It's like they've got he's got like a long list of crimes. So he's got all these crimes that they're going to go down, and all these people who are going to be linked in every direction to all these different ones. I mean, they've been just building it up and building it up throughout. And then and then showing us all of this. So see when they want money over here, see what they do over there. See when they want money over there, then they just go over here and see. And then they'll just come over here and bomb you guys. And then they can say, well, we need the money over there too. So, you know, it's just all this like game playing with these people, the overlords, the industrial complex. And so that all they're doing is just, you know, we're just the debris. They don't give a fuck when who of us gets hurt or killed or anything. They don't care. They just want to move their money around. And so so let me think what I was saying. So the exposing, so the media being exposed. Oh yeah. So then showing, because they've been putting so much stuff out there, showing so much like all these different people coming out and saying things about Hollywood and all that stuff being exposed. So much stuff on the medical, so much stuff is being exposed. Like it's nonstop. And it's wacky because like that's where I'm seeing more and more stuff about this, like mineral, and then how they even attack us and what they're attacking. And I'm 100% all on board on this reverse aging just by taking care of yourself, because the aging is fake. And you know, one thing too is like I know that there's some people, everybody's skin age is different. And some people have really, really deep lines. And sometimes that can be from smoking. A lot of smokers have really deep lines. But it can also be genetic. And so doing all these like these massages and stuff on your face, I would still do it. And I would still look into different minerals and stuff, because there was probably something in tobacco that was sucking something out of you. You just need to deplete it or give it back to yourself. So a lot of those lines may fill back in. So don't feel like, no matter what stage your skin is at or your hair is at, even if you're balding, whatever stage you're at, just start going backwards. And don't get all caught up on like it's just going to be all of a sudden. But just start going backwards and taking care of yourself, and just give yourself time, because I'm sure it's going to just keep improving and improving and improving. And, you know, those 3 videos I shared with the facial exercising and rubbing and all that stuff, I am doing that. And I had seen those face yoga ones a long while ago. And I had done that when I was a kid. So I had these... What? Because I had these giant cheeks and this double chin, right? And so I would always like do all these exercises. And then when I was watching those, I was like, well, it makes sense. Like if you want to keep any of your muscles on your body, you have to exercise them. So of course, if you want your muscles to stay up on your face, and then this long training them with them just being angry and mad and being in long-term difficulty, like you are in this horrible relationship for years and years and years, it's going to wear on your face. It's going to, the grimace, the anger, the resentment, it's all going to be held in there. And all of those things too, just keep working on this, releasing them and stuff. And you will feel like these tight muscles. And then doing these like, and just go in and watch in the mirror, watch your face. So like what muscles, and move them, and just keep moving them and lifting them, and then pushing. That one lady said, just keep pushing the stuff back up. So even if you have deep lines or whatever, don't think, oh, well, it's not going to work for me. You know, I'm just too old now. I feel certain there's just something that was more depleted, even though everybody has different amounts of lines. It has to do with like your skin texture and the thickness and the, you know, how much fat and all that, how much oil, everything inside. So, you know, but if you are dissatisfied, because I know lots of women are, I see them all the time on TikTok, and they just try and hide under filters and stuff. But you can just work on just reversing all the signs of aging, just in a natural way. Like they want us to get caught up in more chemicals and more dissatisfaction and chasing this other, chase this younger version of yourself. I mean, even these 70-year-olds, trying to chase these younger versions of themselves or something. It's like, why do you want to be chasing something you were? Why don't you want to be becoming what you're going to become? All the things that you learned from back there. Why you keep trying to run back there? That's what they want to keep having people do. Chasing something from your past. What a frustration. Because to me, I don't look at the reverse aging like that. I look at it as like, oh my gosh, this is like a do-over. Like once you start figuring that out, then you got to start living your life in a different kind of way. So I see it all as like, a do-over. You get to take care of yourself, learn to take care of them, and learn to have better relationships and spend your time better. Like there's so many lessons. And then life is going to give us this opportunity to get to go out and experience all the things we learned. What is it, honey? What? This is like, fuck. 1:15. Oh my God. I swear to God, nights are so motherfucking long. I think the most time I have to ever sleep at one time has been like 3 or 4 hours. But I keep waking up now. It's not even just getting woke up. It's like, oh my gosh. Just go to sleep for a minute, Stella. What is it? What do you want me to do? Don't know what she keeps being so whiny about. I keep feeling like like yesterday, this was trippy. So she was having like this fit because she'll sometimes do this and then she'll go over and start hitting her leash. And I'm like, there is no motherfucking way. Is it dark outside? There's no motherfucking way we're going on a walk. So you just stop it. And so yesterday, she'll sit there and do this. And so I went and I took her on a walk. And because on one point when she was doing, I was like, looked out and I was like, okay, well, it's not raining right this minute. It's still nonstop. There's rain going, but sometimes there's like a lull where it's not. But even while you're standing out there, then it just picks up and starts going harder. And then you just, everything that gets wet, it's like, oh my God, all the fucking chemicals and stuff. And so we went out there and went for a walk. What was I going to say about that? We went out there, went for a walk, and all the chemicals and all the snow. Came back. There was some fucking story. There was something I was going to say about that. I don't have any idea what it was. Maybe it'll come back to me. I always think if it's meant to be said, it will come back to me. If it's not. But there was something yesterday, too, that I had forgot to say. And then it came to me after I finished talking. I was like, oh, dang it. But I swear to God, that's the kind of stuff that is like the disruption. Like that gets me where I can't stay on track, And I feel like it's done on purpose. So, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So we were outside. And when we were walking, so up in front of us, it sounded like, I don't even know. I had to stop. Even Stella stopped. She stopped and she was just standing there listening. It's like, what the hell is this? And I opened my door yesterday and there was a sound where I was like, okay, it sounds like they've started the generator outside. Like it sounded so like something weird was going on. And at first it sounds like an airplane, but then it just doesn't stop. And then, so we were walking, so it was a weird sound. And I was like, what is that? And then it started being like, oh my gosh, that's dogs? So that's a bunch of dogs howling. So a bunch of dogs are howling over there and all these dogs. So they're going back and forth and Stella kept standing there listening. So I was watching for her to get upset and see, but she seemed like confused. And then she turned and started going back real quick. So we started going back and I was like, man, that is weird. I wonder if this is a sign about they're feeling something. Like the earth is, something's going on. And so we start going back and we go back into our yard and I don't remember. It was something else. I know I was getting wood. I was doing something. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, what is that? And I walked out there and it was like the dogs on the other side of the neighborhood. So back, it was over there. And then I was like all over there. So this whole other side, and all the dogs were howling. And it was the same kind of like really weird, like how these ones were. So I even went in and got my phone. And I was like, okay, I gotta get my phone for this. And so I took it back out and then it stopped. And so then I stood out there waiting to see if it started again. And thinking like, you know, I don't know. You know, I always just say they're picking up on something. And there is these really high-pitched frequency sounds that come in and hit like a wave into your head. And so I don't know if they're hearing other things. I don't know if they're seeing other things. Stella keeps going around smelling all this stuff. And then she's acting strange, I think. The other dogs are acting strange. I think everything is acting strange. I think the colors are strange. I think that just going through the day is strange. I think that people on the social media are acting strange. I think time is strange. Like, I can't find anything that isn't strange right now. That isn't, you know, everything's out of the ordinary. What was ordinary wasn't real. So, yeah, it's going to fall apart. So, it's kind of just everything in our lives are going to just be falling apart, you know? And it's just, I don't know. I did not, there's something on my tooth. I ate one of those, I make these, I'm always making shit. And lots of times I mess it up. All the time. But I'll just feed it to the dog or feed it to the squirrels and the birds. And so there was this cake that I saw this lady make. It was a whole lemon. And you put this whole lemon in this blender and you chop it up and then you add sugar and all the stuff that you add for a batter for a cake and in this blender, and then you pour this batter into the thing. Well, I don't have a whole blender. I have a little like Ninja cup thing, and I used a small one. I didn't think anything about it, but now I know. Now I think a lot about it because so I put in the lemon and I ground it all up, and then I thought, well, I'm going to put in the eggs, the coconut. I used the coconut oil and baking soda and baking powder and the sugar and the vanilla all in there and grind and put it all in, and then I'll just pour it in a thing and add the flour. And so, and it was this beautiful fuzz was going, you know. And so I finish it and I take it off, and right as I open it, exploded. It was like forceful. And it was so forceful that I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe I didn't get hurt from that. Fuck. When something happens and you don't get hurt, it always gives you that feeling like, fuck, man, that could fucking hurt. And it was everywhere. Oh my God, it was everywhere. I couldn't believe it. So I had to clean all that up. So that took time. And then when I went on TikTok, I saw a girl and she had gotten out an old kombucha out of her fridge. And she was doing a video saying, if you find an old kombucha in your fridge, don't open it. It will explode. And she hurt her hand. She had to go get some splint or something on because it blew. When mine blew, and then it made me think about that lady whose Instapot blew, and it blew all into her face and shit. I didn't have any on me. I was like, fuck. And the whole sharp thing could have, oh my God, all the things that could go wrong. It's just all of a sudden you're like, fuck. And that shows you, though, that, you know, you are protected. You're protected until you're supposed to pass. And then it's like, okay, that's your way out, and they're waiting there for you anyways. But it is wild when that shit happens. Especially then that girl, she did get hurt. And so that even drove it home more to me, because that's how I was feeling. But so anyways, you know, most of my stuff was blown out. And so I was like, but there was still some in it. And so I was like, well, I'm going to still use it. And so I made it, but it didn't really puff up. I don't think there was enough maybe. And so I'm going to try this again though, but I'm not going to make it the same way. I'm not going to do it in the blender like that. But anyway, so it didn't puff up into a lemon cake, and it stayed kind of low, like lemon. So I did like lemon bars, and then you make you make all of the zest and all the juice, and then you add the sugar for the frosting. So it's super lemony, but it's all the whole lemon, which has got a lot of stuff that's really good for you. So like high vitamin C, vitamin A, I think. I don't even know all the stuff. Lemons are really good for you. And so it was, kind of jacked up and low. So I sliced it and made it into lemon bars, and I cooked them back again like the biscotti. I was like, you just got to get creative. And they're really good. And there's something with them. You eat one, and like when I was making them, I ate a couple of them, and it was like, oh my gosh, I wasn't hungry for a long, 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 long time. And I was like, man, and I had heard that before too about lemons. Like there's something about if you drink lemon water, you'll lose weight. And so there's something with lemons. There's all this little fucking hidden shit. So anyways, but I'm going to make that cake again. But I still have the lemon bars, but they're really good. But I had this other stuff I was going to have to eat, but I wasn't ever hungry. So let me think. It seems like that there was some other stuff I was going to say. I haven't seen any. I went on TikTok this morning for like 1 second, and she just started whining, and then something, I don't know what it was. I was like, oh, I got to talk about that. But I couldn't even go back to sleep because it just have this stuff going and going in my head. And especially the stuff with the aging thing. I feel like my guides really wanted me to see that, to understand that and share it. And especially the way it happened, because I was not doing it for that. I really, really, it's so weird too. Even when I started doing the copper cup, a part of it was like, well, I hope it doesn't turn my hair back from gray. It was like, I did not even see, I did not understand at all. And that's why, all these people who tell me like, oh, they like their gray hair. It's like, they just don't understand what I'm saying. It's like, you got to see it to understand it. It's like, ugh. We are depleted. We have got a mineral deficiency. Our body is showing us, it's telling us that we have a mineral deficiency. The people in charge, the brilliant minds of the world, they tell us that we're all aging. We're just aging. You're just aging. It's like, because you're motherfucking killing us. Like, it's not aging. We're fucking being murdered by you. And so you've got to, it's like this recognition of how depleted you are from the different minerals. And it's all, you got to figure out what ones work for you. And it is like slower. It's not like you could take it one and be like, oh, it worked automatically. Oh, my sister, she got her copper cup. And so now she's got copper toxicity. She messaged me yesterday, you could have told me that I couldn't leave it past a certain amount of time. Now I'm so sick. I've got such a headache. I said, I did tell you. But I don't think that you understood what I was saying, because that's the thing, is like, you don't understand what people are saying until you understand it. And so you can tell people things, but they don't. It's like they're not listening. It doesn't catch on because they don't understand it, because they got to learn it. So then I just told her, I'll pass. Like when I got mine, I did the first fucking batch. I was so sick. I think I was sick for like a week. I was so nauseous. And now I remember I did have a headache, but I didn't think of that. I was just thinking how nauseous I was. Now I kind of monitor. If I start drinking it and I start feeling nauseous, I'll dump it and get some new. I'll think, oh, it must have sat too long. And so I will just get new. But each person, see, you have to find that sweet spot for yourself. And that's what I told her. This is something you got to monitor. You got to see, like, maybe 8 hours is way too long. Maybe 6 hours is all you need. And you have to figure out how much of everything you need. None of these people are going to help you. They don't even know what the hell they're doing. They're just fucking bunch of mad scientists. Bunch of Dr. Frankensteins working for fucking vampires. That's what this place is. It's so funny. So funny how they put it in movies and stuff like that. But it's so true. Especially when all these old movies. It's like old movie after old movie. There is always some fucking people being held as prisoners that they're being science experiments is down in the basement. Always. What are you doing? She's going into the fog. She's going into the portal. She disappeared for a minute. Honey, I don't know what is wrong with you. God, I wish it was the earthquake. I wish we'd just fucking hurry up and have it. Just waiting and waiting for something to happen. It's like, God, come on. It's so intense. It's so hard to keep yourself calm. There's so many different things that you have to do self-talk. Even when my, I was triggered yesterday when my daughter was saying that stuff. And, and I didn't go in defense. Even she started asking me after she was done. She's like, okay, so tell me why you were laughing. It's just funny to hear somebody say, like, you're dancing sexy. It's just like, I don't know. I think that's how people look at it, as you're feeling the music or something. I don't know. It just cracked me. I could not stop laughing. And, but I did not get triggered. I did not feel defensive. I mean, I felt it. Like I said, my automatic triggers occurred, but I had enough ability to self-talk and keep myself from just doing it, just following my same patterns. So you can catch yourself. It gets easier and easier and easier. And you will constantly have the challenges. That's what it's all about. These people who always are wanting to cut people out of their lives because the challenges are too much. I think you're making a mistake. I think the challenges are there for you to grow. So you're always going to have challenges that are going to come, but they're your opportunities to see how well you're doing, if you really are learning things, if you really are growing. And so but there is a point of self-talk where you have to talk to yourself, like whatever you need to hear, basically, because what I need to hear and what I would self-talk could be something totally different than what you need to hear. You need to tell yourself what you need to hear, to keep yourself calm, to remind yourself you're okay. Remind yourself, just because you fail, just because someone feels failed by you, doesn't mean you are a failure. It doesn't mean that you even failed them. There's even your kids, they only have limited perspective. They don't know what you went through. They don't know what your life was like. They have very limited perspective. You are the one who has to see the broader picture. Just because somebody looks at you as a failure, you can't look at you as a failure. You have to see the ins and out of what you went through, of what you had to endure, and pat yourself on the back and be like, man, I was going through a lot. I had it was a lot of burdens to carry. Like, even the kids, they don't know how much it is to pay all the bills and what it's like at work and the bullshit you have to deal with. Like, they have no idea. And, you're coming home and I was even thinking one thing too is, when your kids are going through something as kids and they're complaining about it, and then you start trying to help them figure out how to fix it, then they start remembering it as you were constantly telling them this. It's like they forget that what their part was, that they were whining to you about this all the time, talking to you about this all the time. They forget that part. They think that you're just doing this. So you can't get all caught up in just their perspective. You got to be clear on your perspective. And if you're just down on yourself and mean to yourself and hate yourself, it's just, you'll use it as another excuse to kick your ass and be down on yourself and hate yourself. And that is the stuff you got to let go of. You got to be kind to yourself. Be your own best friend. If you can't be your own best friend, how can you be anybody's friend? And, the love that you want is always going to come from yourself. So you have to be there for yourself and love yourself and have compassion for yourself and the things you've gone through. So just don't feel like that you are a failure. And I know a lot of people, when this all really starts going down, there's going to be a lot of people are going to feel like just failures and they're not good enough and they should have seen more. And then there's gonna be these people who are always like, oh, you stupid people who aren't awake and all that stuff. Those people, because they're not awake yet, because they wouldn't do that if they were. And when they wake up and their soul lets them know, like, that's not cool, that is going to be a hard one to face, because they're going to see this bully side of themselves, this judgmental, hateful, vindictive side of themselves. So that is going to be a lot of judgment. But that's kind of like, you've got to have some essence of judgment to move through something. You have to be able to look at it and see, like, how do I feel? You got to be able to judge it somehow, so you can see, like, how do you feel about it? To decipher, like, where do you find your balance? What parts do you take? What parts do you pick and choose? So it has a role. To me, the bad part of judgment that you want to keep out of is thinking that somebody is their experience, that somebody is like a bad person because they make bad choices. It's like, well, they're making bad choices because they're there to learn from that experience. And so, and it's not for us to even understand. And we can't understand everybody else's lessons. We can only be an observation. And it's not for us to try and control. So and that takes a lot of self-talk there too. Especially if you've got a lot of controlling aspects of yourself, where you want to, fix things for everybody. You don't want anybody to feel bad. That's you got to let go of that stuff. And my daughter was talking about another one, interesting, because she's about to go in and do another big session, and she had seen that aspect of herself, of seeing what she needed to do in order to feel good about controlling, like the mood, like to try and fix everything so everybody can be happy. And so then when you have something happen and then your partner doesn't do that, then it starts being like, well, you got to do that. You got to do that. No, you have got to pull in what you need to do to yourself. You've got to ask yourself, why do I need to do this? And you certainly don't want to try and make somebody else do to fill in your frenzy to feel good, You got to, because you can't fix everything for everybody. You can't make everybody happy, and it's not your job. And when people are doing that, it's because they want people to like them, and and everybody wants people to like them. Everybody wants to be liked, and anybody who has been, belittled or made fun of or anything as a kid, then they always go and try and get people to like them, and everybody has their own ways of getting people to like them. So there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting people to like you. It's just, it's been used against us. And you know what? But there's going to be a good side of it too. There's going to be a lot of things that, it's going to kind of be a whirlwind. You'll see these different sides, but then we're going to go into a side that is more, comes together, where people are more compassionate and caring for one another. And it won't be all divisive and hateful. And there was something I was seeing in there. And I don't know. Maybe these things are going too fast or something. I can't compute fast enough. It's like, what? I see it, but I don't know what. Like I get, but it is okay, let me think for a second. The people, and the people. Okay, I'm just lost. I just keep being stuck out there in dark space. The people, where are the people? But when I went on TikTok earlier, I was like, it's just weird. It's like, it's back to that just yelling, and I'm seeing videos that are super old. I'm seeing, I'm always going on looking for current events, what's going on out there. I have seen some really cool sky ones. Um, there was one yesterday that I saw that was weird. And then I sent it to Amy on TikTok, because Amy's on TikTok, so we send videos back and forth all the time. Anyway, they met her on here. But so so I had sent her this video, this creepy place with it's like these dead people or something, but they move or something. I don't even know. But anyways, so she went and looked up this guy's channel, and he's got a whole bunch of videos that look really interesting, that a bunch of you guys might really like his videos. His name is really weird. It was like and then it was like 4 period, and then I think it was like D something, and then it popped up because it's so weird. But I remember it was 4 period, and then I think it was a D. And it's just a few more letters. And then he's got a whole bunch of videos of just strange things. So, if you like strange things, you might like some of his videos. But the one that was really weird was showing these like, I don't know, creepy. I saw this other one too, because there's some place like where there's these fish and they have human faces. And then the tribes would talk about these human fish people and stuff, and then the fish that are down there. But I'm telling you, there is so much more about this ocean shit. Oh, and the Marshall Island thing. So the big wave that came in, and so this weird whole thing about these little islands over here it's just water, and there's just these little islands and stuff. Well, the Marshall, the government had done the same fucking bullshit that they always do. Went and pushed all these tribes back, said, hey, we're going to give you some money. We need to do some tests. We need to use your land. Did all this nuke stuff. Never gave the people the money. So, yeah, for it to all of a sudden have this big wave of water to come in. There's like that's the kind of thing to me is like where the earth and the anger and the disappointment, and it's an energy. And so I don't know, they fucked all those people over, but they fucked all these tribes over all over the place. Like, that's all they've done. And I think, some of the tribes I think are from other places, other planets and stuff. So I think that some of these battles or whatever, where they think that they're just taking land, it's like, well, it's not your land either. I think is like maybe what their attitude is like you guys are like nobody, because nobody owns the earth, but there's still a birthright. And what it's going to come down to is our birthright of just being born here. And it gives us a birthright to what comes from here. We get to, our resources and stuff because we're born here. So we're meant to experience here. And so that is going back onto, God's law. And we're moving out of man's law and into God's law. And there's so much, I think, right now being up in the media or whatever about the judicial. I think it's clearly showing that there's two different ones. There's one that is corrupt as fuck, and then there's another one that is it's going to be the one that, because it has one, I'm telling you, the girl who does these class action lawsuits, it's one after another all day long. So these corporations are losing and losing and losing and losing. But wherever they have a strong hold in the court system, they have I think it's part of the show, though. I think it's all part of the show. I think that they're all going to go down. I think that there's arrests being made and stuff, but it's to get us to see. And so Joe is going to go, and he's going to take the money with him. That's going to collapse. And it's got to be so fucking close. But that will be the collapse that will start everything going, I think, on some kind of big movement is going to flip everything. Because I don't know, a giant earthquake, that will flip people's attitude, but it will also put people into desperation and panic and So that's a lot of things. If like there's gonna be this giant earthquake at the same time Joe goes down, but maybe that's how it's supposed to go. Is everything's gonna rattle and roll and just explosive. But there's more weird stuff about these islands over there. I'm sure that's not gonna be the end of it. There's probably places that are set up where I'm sure that there is whole worlds out there in the water, and the whole existence, whole like other realms and shit. There's other beings. There's other. Sometimes it seems like I think some of these things just go on and on and on and on. I don't think that they ever really end. Yeah, you go down into the water. I swear, I think you just keep going and going and going and going. I don't know. Water always, when going down into the sea and stuff, in open water, it just always trips me out. It's like a fucking nightmare to me. It's horrible. But so on all these TikToks, it's like all these commercials again, all these people just trying to sell you, sell you, sell you. And then you got these people just begging and begging for someone to rescue them. There's just drama after drama. People getting so mad, tension building on the government shit. And people just like right on the edge of their seats. It's like the end. You can see they're so on the edge of their seat that they're going to just fall over. It's like, but they got to see through it. They're so hung up on it. And the government is going away. That's one thing, is that's going away. Because everybody's got to get to this point. We don't need to be governed. It's like your kid growing up and saying, I don't need a babysitter anymore. And we're also like, even though now, but there's still people who think, well, we still have to have cops. There's bad people. Yeah, but as we transition, there will continue to be where we don't. The more that we even see the injustice and the out of balance that things got, and that the way that we were being controlled, and the people who were controlling us, that they didn't even know who they're working for. They think they're working for the good guys and they're working for the bad guys. And so there's just a lot of stuff that has to be seen, a lot of things that have gotten out of balance, a lot of stuff that is just all jacked up. Everybody will have to see their own part. And that's going to be the part that's going to be so hard for them to get over. It's just important in any of this stuff that's going on, is to just continue to be forgiving of yourself. Don't get hung up on being down on yourself, hating everybody, hating this world. Just keep on letting go and letting go, not being burdened, not being held back by your emotions. And don't forget, like, self-talk is powerful. You can stop yourself. You can control yourself. You can continue your conversation in your head, but you don't have to argue with other people. But you can, sit there and convince yourself of whatever it is. That's not delusional. That is you learning how to control, and not being just because someone else is being burdened, or someone else is having an emotional moment, or somebody else is going through something. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to fix it. And you don't have to do anything. You just have to just allow them to have their moment. And whatever is triggered in you, just keep it in you and do your self-talk and reflection. And, and it can feel, especially in the first, it can feel like you're under attack. Like somebody's just attacking you. And so, it's... there's like all different things that, because it can be, if they are attacking you, then you got to have boundaries. If they're being aggressive towards you and ridiculing you, then you got to have boundaries. You don't just sit there and take it. Somebody just sitting there ridiculing you and telling you what a piece of shit you are. You have to allow, somebody has to speak to you appropriately. And so there's that aspect too. And that's for you to figure out. And then it is, if every single time somebody approaches you and says something, then you're like, well, you should have said it different. And you get mad at every single person. Then you got to start seeing like, okay, there might be, I don't want to hear anything bad about me. I might have a problem with that. And that's something you just need to look at. You need to see. And it may take a whole bunch of people coming in and saying something to you for you to start recognizing that in yourself. But those are because you're there to learn that. You're there to have those lessons. That's what everything is about. Everything is about your learning, your growth, your advancement. There was something really cool that I wanted to say. I'll probably be as soon as I finish, then it will all of a sudden come to my head. It's kind of like I can see it a little bit, but I can't see it clear enough. I feel scattered too. I feel weird. I just feel so weird all the time. I just feel like I'm in a dream, like in a dream that isn't even like where you just want to wake up, but you want to move it along, like have something start fucking happening. Besides just sitting here in fucking dark, day after day after day. It's like, fuck. But whatever, when things start, like, shaking up, things will shake up. Things will change. We'll see. We'll just have to see. And there's going to keep being a lot of exposing, you know, and there's going to be people who we thought were good guys that are going to be bad guys, and there's going to be people who are bad guys. It really turned out to be good guys. There's going to be a lot of shifting perspective, and that's going to be exhausting for a lot of people. But, you know, to me, being able to get more and more perspective is good. Like yesterday, I had done this video as I was thinking about like all these women who wear all this makeup. And that has got to be adding to their insecurities, even though they think it makes them more secure. But if you feel like you can't go out of the house without your makeup, then it's really adding into your insecurities. And so that is my perspective. And so I had said this video asking like women who do makeup, are you comfortable either way? Like if you like makeup and you do makeup, are you comfortable being able to go out of the house with or without? This one woman, she had said that, yeah, she can go out of the house with or without, but it just gives her happiness. It gives her joy. She just loves to sit and do makeup. And so, see, that's another perspective. Those people should be able to sit and do things that they just love. They just love putting stuff, but there's extra problems, you know, because you're putting poison on your face. And a lot of people don't know that yet. But, I mean, that's in everything. Overeating and everything. So everything is fucking poison. That's a part of the waking up and realizing and seeing. Oh, I don't know. I mean, you start realizing all this makeup is full of fucking poison. And it's just seeping through your skin, close to your brain all fucking day. And, you know, you're going to keep doing it? That's the question. That's the question. What do you like the makeup more than you like your health? And to me, it goes back to, I would rather have my health. I'd rather feel good. I don't want to say I'd rather feel good than look good, because I think we all want to look good too. We want to feel good while we're looking good, look good while we're feeling good. I don't know. It's not, we don't want one or the other. We want a little bit of both. But anyways, you know, all stuff, like all those things, it's all stuff for us to figure out. You know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. How much of this and how much of that? It's individual. Like, and you can't think that you have to please somebody else. Well, if they say it's only that much, then I better not go more, because then I'm going to be a weirdo. No, have as much as you want. It's up to you. You're the one deciding. You're the one making this picture. You're the one filling in the blanks. So anyways, it's all up to you. And let me think if there was something else. Now she's snoozing. Now I'm thinking like, what, did I finish everything I was going to say? But watch. Well, I don't know if she would see it. But this jolting awake all the time. I don't know. There's just this weird. And the dog's all fucking in these weird sounds outside, the weird colors. Like, we've got to be so close to the shifting. I just don't know if it's going to be this physical, magical, like the fucking sky colors and opens and ships. And like, I don't know if it's going to be a lot more like Joe goes down. I mean, maybe at this point they'll just have him have a heart attack or something. Like, I fucking don't know. You'd think that they were already taking him out in handcuffs, but so, and then all these judicial, and then they're going with the federal over the state. And see, that's the thing. The state, that's a part of our like learning too, I think, is because the state is the more control than the federal. And that's why we got to do more local. We don't need to do all this big old giant government. That was just how they wanted to have their fist in our fucking faces. But more of a community. But then we got to we got to know our communities. We can't just let like the church guy and the rich guy run the fucking town, because they're fucking evil and they're working together. So there's that is where we have to come together and be a part of our communities and bring a community what we want. You know, what kinds of things do we want in our lives? And find other people that like the same things as us and build communities. And that's what's coming. That's the part that I'm excited about. This part is intense. This part of waiting for this, it's like waiting for the, what is that called? Like the floor to drop, waiting for the bottom to fall out. Like there's some saying, waiting for something, but that's what it feels like, waiting for the ball to drop. Waiting for this, like, bam, everything's going to just drop. And then it's going to be this, like, such a smack to so many people. And then their reaction, we got to go through all the people's reactions. And then, but, you know, I don't think, you know, just like being here, I'm not affected by some of this psycho stuff, you know, that keeps going on. But when you go out, like, then you can be. Because there's just psychos out there, but any psycho that you end up coming across is a psycho you were supposed to. It was supposed to happen. So, you know, if you feel this need that you have to go somewhere, this was a weird kind of story because this girl told, and she said that she had, her uncle had been in some kind of motorcycle accident, and she hadn't seen him or anything, but she was sitting there. It's like 9 o'clock at night. And she, all of a sudden, she felt like she wanted to go see her uncle. She felt like this, I gotta go see him. I gotta go see him. And she took one of her kids. Her husband thought it was crazy. It was way too late to go out. Why are you going over there now? She just felt like, I just feel like I have to. And she said when she leaves her house, there's 2 different ways to go. If she goes one direction, she's at her uncle's in just a couple minutes. If she goes the other, it goes through a whole circle through town, and she goes around the other way. And it takes like 15 or 20 minutes. And so she went the wrong way. And while she was driving, then she was like saying to her kid, oh man, why'd you let me go this way? And he's like, I thought you knew what you were doing. I thought you had to go to the store or something. So she probably was just, you know, because we're tuned into something that we don't realize a lot of time. And so she went, got there, went in, visited the uncle, and started to leave. And right as she was starting to leave, she gets a phone call. So this house is like a duplex. And on the bottom floor is her grandma lives. And her mom was there. And I don't know if her mom lived there too. And so she's just about to leave. And she gets this call that her mom has collapsed downstairs. So she goes downstairs to see what's going on. And her mom's lips are black and stuff. And she said she knew what was going on because of TikToks. Apparently, of overdose or something shows lips are black. I didn't know that. And so she said she started doing CPR. She got 911 on the call. And they were talking to her while she was doing CPR. And she said it was exhausting. And everybody else was old and didn't know how to do it. So she was the only one who could do it. And CPR is really exhausting. At the hospital, they trade people out all the time. You don't stay doing it very long. They trade people out. And so she was having to do it while this ambulance was coming. And then it was like right as she just had given up. She just was like, you know, she's gone. And she got up, she said she was so exhausted she couldn't go any further. And as soon as that happened, the ambulance guy grabbed her and started doing all this stuff. And so she said it was just like magic. And she had no idea the ambulance guy was even there. It was just like this perfect timing. And so, you know, and she, I think she crashed a couple times and had to be jolted and all sorts of stuff. It was a huge drama. And she ended up surviving, and it ended up that she had bought a pain pill from a family member, and it was, and she only took half of it. And there's even a text trail that shows that she was asking, like, what is this? This isn't, like, she must normally buy Oxys or something when she has a headache. And then she was saying, like, what is this? This doesn't look right. And they were saying, don't worry about it. It's the same thing. And so she broke it in half and took half. And within 45 seconds, she took it by the kitchen, and she didn't even make it to the couch where she fell down. She said it was like 45 seconds and she was down. And so, but the girl was saying, like, the same story what I had said about that Buddha Bible story is, see, she already jolted away. You're always where you're supposed to be. Because she said if I wouldn't have taken the long way, if I would have went the other way, I'd have already been home when she collapsed. There would have been nobody there to do the compressions. Nobody could do anything. And so because it was meant to be, that's how it was meant to work out. It's just that the magic is always around us. The magic is always there. But you just got to start noticing it. And I've always noticed it. I've always noticed the magic. I've always been able to see, like, that's why I can attest to it. I can say it's real. I've been living that for a long time, noticing and watching the signs and talking to the guides and stuff. So anyways, that's all real. And that was just another confirmation that you are always where you're supposed to be. Even when you make a wrong turn, don't be mad at yourself. That was supposed to happen. Everything that happens is supposed to happen. You don't have control. What you have is your attitude. So just try and have a good attitude. It's a work. It's a work in process. It's a development stage. You just got to work on it. You don't have to be perfect. Just remember that. You don't ever have to be perfect. You just got to work on it. You don't have to work it. Goals don't have to be like perfect. What is perfect? Nothing's perfect. Everything is flawed. You got to just come to what it is you want to become, who you want to be. That's where you just work on that. That's it. So anyways, that's my motivational speech for the day. Hopefully it was something. Hopefully it was helpful. I don't know. Maybe it was just a kick in the pants, like knock you down. But even if it does, if it knocks you down, you just got to get back up. That's your challenge. There's your challenge for the day. Just get yourself back up. Self-talk yourself through this day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye.